last 10 years, we've seen a very disturbing trend. We've seen QA teams become very lackluster. However, the question becomes, whose fault is it? Now, some would blame the team leader, saying that they haven't done enough.
QA team. Yeah, good job, QA team. The QA manager's name is Bjorn. Yeah, that explains fucking everything.
Others say it's simply the way it is now. With patches, games no longer need to be 100% at launch. And with games like Kane and Lynch, Duke Nukem Forever, and even newer games like Total War Rome 2 and Batman Arkham Origins, this does appear to be the shift that gaming is in for. Now it begs the question if QA teams are actually becoming this laxed, or if their higher-ups are making them work faster than they ought to in order to meet some arbitrary deadline set by the parent company. Now there is blame to go around on these issues, but the question remains to make sure we're blaming the right people. Otherwise we're just basically giving a bunch of shit to people who aren't doing anything wrong, who are just doing what they have to do to keep their jobs. I'm not comfortable with that, and I'm sure you're not either. Now if it is the higher-ups forcing the QA teams into this position, they are in fact making us, QA testers ourselves, as the first to buy the game. Not only is that not kosher, but it's not fair to QA teams who now have to catch the lump of the blame for games that go out with glitches and bugs. Now it could be argued if a bug or a glitch is not game breaking, it's not that big of a deal. I've heard that argument made, hell I've made that argument myself in certain games. Now whether that's right or a wrong way to think, I can't make that decision, that's up to each of us to decide on our own. And in truth, the only way to avoid this issue at all is to just not buy a game when it first launches. Give it about a month to let the kinks and bugs be worked out. Elsewise, you're probably going to feed a couple glitches, a couple bugs on your gaming. There's not really much you can do about that, at least as it stands right now. Now, I'm not saying in the future we won't see a time when games go back to being 100% at launch. I'm also not saying you should give up entirely. Make your voice heard. And tell them you're not happy with a particular game you got that wasn't 100%. But what I am saying is don't expect it to be something that's fixed tomorrow. Things like this take a lot of time to change. And as a final note, don't immediately blame the QA testers, because believe it or not, it's not always them. I've done it myself, but QA testers are not the bottom line. They do have higher-ups that give them a schedule. And regardless of what they say, if it's after the schedule, the game will launch. Lately, that's just how it works. So don't immediately place your blame onto the QA testers. Remember, there's a lot of blame to go around, just make sure you spread it evenly. Now, our channel of the week this week is a very, very good reviewer. He does movies, he does TV shows, he does video games, much like myself. However, he has much, much better presence than I do. His name is Jeremy Johns. Most of you probably already know him. If you don't, well, let's just say he's probably one of the funniest people on YouTube right now when it comes to making jokes and things about movies and whatnot. I'm going to put his channel in the description. I would highly advise you check him out. Until next week, my name is Vega Goose saying thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.